I dived into YouTube during menopause. Back to the channel, guys. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, today I'm going to talk about how I dived into YouTube during menopause. Yes, and I want to remind you that I know my channel is not made for kids, but especially this video, the subject matter might not be suitable for children, so please be mindful of that. And disclaimer, any health advice that I give is primarily me just sharing information and not giving you advice to go and act on without you doing your own research and talking to your healthcare provider. It's a big change. It's that big change of life for women across the world. And you have to deal with everything that comes with it. But what are the expectations from others when they realize that you're going through the change? Is it that now you no longer are able to achieve certain goals? Is it that you are to put your dreams on the back burner? Is it that you yourself may not feel up to it to launch into anything new, let alone even continue doing what you were doing? That might even be a struggle. I know, as with a lot of things in life, there are challenges, and how we approach those depend on a few factors. What's our state of mind? What is the state of our physical health? What are our stressors? Are we managing these stressors? It could even include your financial situation. It may even include the kind of support that you're getting or not getting, for that matter. But what do you think about it? I'm speaking to women here. How do you feel about it? If you have gone through menopause and now you're just in the post stage, but you actually went through it, or if you are going through it right now, how do you feel? Do you feel like continuing with the projects you have started, with plans that you have made? Are you still thinking of going back to school? Do you think you can handle it? Does it have to wait until you have completely gone through menopause and all the symptoms have gone? I mean, these are real questions because we're talking about real people. We are real people. Even if the odds seem to be stacked against it, if you have a good reason for doing something, and the reason could be just because it's something that you want to do to fulfill your dreams, not necessarily having to do with finances, not necessarily having to do with status, but just something that you want to do. It's an achievement that you have always wanted to conquer. Okay, so on to the YouTube thing now. Starting my own channel. This channel is pretty new. Having had like 2 years roughly of having a YouTube channel with my husband and having some fun there and just wetting my feet on the YouTube scene. And if you look at it as somebody of the age of menopause, young people don't go through menopause. So when you approach a certain age, you might be menopausal. So, as somebody that's going through menopause, you wonder, am I too old for this? Social media seems to be a young people thing. A great deal of it is. But I think there is still room for us. What do you think? Yes. We have our crafty people out there who are good at arts and craft and showing you how to make different kinds of things that can save you money, can give you fulfillment, and just can be a blessing to others. We have people with information that's needed, for the common man, information that we all can use. We have people with just skills at cooking and baking and all of that good stuff. We have people that's with skills of business ideas, and entrepreneurship or money management, and just venturing out in different areas. But there's a space for you, I believe. I'm happy to be starting my channel, That Barefoot Girl. This name, by the way, came about while I was in Jamaica for some reason. And this is not something that Jamaican people do. So don't think it's just, oh, Jamaican people do that. I think people in any area of the world could have done what I did, and many people did. It wasn't anything big. It's just that I love to walk barefoot. I love to walk barefooted. I love to feel the dust on the bottom of my feet. I love my toes getting air. And I did it. I don't know. I'm not ashamed about it. I felt good when I walked barefooted. I still like to walk barefooted. So I'm in the north. I'm where it's cold for a greater portion of the year, like 2/3 of the year. So I'm not able to walk barefooted outside. But in the summertime, I do walk barefooted outside, in the yard, in my driveway, in the backyard. I love it. On the front lawn. I love when I get the chance to walk barefoot. And that's where that came from. Because I'm actually proud that I'm a barefoot girl. Of course, I don't go out barefooted. I don't go to work barefooted. I don't go to events barefooted. It's just in my yard or in my house. And I still like that. So, because I did it for such a long time, it was just like a part of me. Those who knew me in Jamaica and even as a young adult, I still would walk barefooted outside in your house. The house is like next to the street, right outside the gate. I'm fine. And I still feel good about it. No shame here. Anyway, that's where the name derived from, That Barefoot Girl. So, welcome to That Barefoot Girl. Yes, I was saying it to my son when I was choosing the name, and I was saying it to my younger son. He said, "Mommy, there's actually a name for it. I think it's called earthing." There is a name for it. Yes. So, hence the name. So, new channel. Just thinking of some of the things that I would like to include in this channel. And of course, I welcome your feedback. I welcome your ideas. Things like venturing into new cooking ideas, new alternative, healthy kind of eating, banana flour. Gotta tell you about that and show you green banana flour. Yeah. So that's one of my babies that I really love now. So anyway, yeah, some of the alternative stuff. I also want to include a health corner, which in this episode you will see that because we're going to be talking about menopause. So like a little health corner where I kind of share some information that I have. So health corner, cooking, of course, maybe a little gardening. I don't know, stories, lifestyle changes, lifestyle adjustments, parenting, um, women's health, relationship, God, or sustenance, you know? So give me your feedback and let me know what your ideas are. So I have ventured out into a new YouTube channel, my personal channel, during menopause. Yes, I am going through hot flashes and cold flashes and the night sweats and all of that good stuff. I'm like tormented. But I think I have kind of braced myself, even though you can't really relate, you can't really understand what it's going to be like until you start to experience menopause and these symptoms, right? So, but what you can do is in the onset of it, when you realize what these things feel like and these symptoms feel like, you can start to brace yourself and you can start to, sometimes I like to say, expect the worst because you can only go up from there. That kind of way. Like, and it's not being negative that you expect the worst, but I think it's kind of like a defense mechanism where you can tell yourself, oh, they're gonna get worse than this. Whew, I got to start figuring out how to cool myself down. What's the best thing? Do I sleep without clothes? Do I wear a tank top under my clothes if I'm going somewhere? So if I need to take my shirt off, I still have a tank top on. Um, do I have an extra fan at the bedside? I don't know. Cool water at the bedside, cooler sheets. You know, like cotton sheets and stuff. Different ways. So you start to be proactive. Expect the worst. Expect that they're going to get worse. Be proactive and try to put some things in place that you think may alter these and, right, like decrease these symptoms, or not really decrease the symptoms. Well, yeah, you want to decrease the symptom, but probably in dealing with it, you probably want to be able to deal with it, to handle it. I have not been depressed, thank God, because that's a very real part of menopause. Mood swings. I think now that we're talking about it, I really think I have become shorter in my temper, like short tempered, like I get set off easily. Yeah, that must be due to menopause. I never put an. I'm gonna blame it on menopause right now. Yes, because I wasn't like that. Come to think of it, I even was questioning myself, like, why am I making this bother me? Why am I, Yeah, no, no, for real. Seems like that's it. I've never been really paying attention to that part of it, but yeah, mood. Yeah, definitely. When you call it by name, then you can attack it. You can do something about it. So, okay, note to myself right there. Yeah, so as you see, it can be a very miserable time. And many people out there, you can tell me, it can be an awful time, it can be a miserable time, and it can be more miserable for some people. So you may not feel like venturing out into a new thing. You might not even feel up to going to work or having sexual intercourse or doing anything fun, right? Because of all these symptoms that you're feeling. And for some people, it might be worse than for some. But thank God, I don't think I'm at the worst. I no, I really don't think I'm at the worst in terms of the symptoms that I'm experiencing. So I ventured out, and I'm here to tell you that you can too, depending on how you feel. You want your mental health, you want your peace, you want your physical health, and you want your boldness. That boldness, like there's a Bible verse that says, "Not by might, not by might," right? So I take that from that Bible verse, just not by might. And when I say not by might, even just those three words, not by might, it reminds me of the whole Bible verse to trust God. I'm not depending on myself, I am trusting God. So my faith plays a great role in this. when I step out to do something, when I believe that I can. Because I believe that I can only because God allows me and He's with me, that kind of way. So I kind of feel like I'm not alone. Like I know I'm not alone. So that helps me too. And the kind of support that you have can be a deciding factor as to whether or not you venture out and try something new. So I do have family support, and I feel like you guys are going to support me in this, and I welcome your support. And believe me, if you're thinking about starting something, if you're thinking about venturing out in something new, uh, you know, go for it. Go for it. You're not going to be hurting anybody. You're not going to be hurting yourself. You're not going to be hurting God. Go for it. Go for it, my dear. So, like I said, we are going to have the health corner in this episode. So let's go over to Health is Wealth. Guys, welcome to Health is Wealth. Today we're going to be talking about menopause, a condition that affects women across the world. Menopause actually marks a period in a woman's life when she's no longer able to have a menstrual cycle or get pregnant. Officially, though, menopause is considered after a woman has gone a whole 12 months since her last period. So even if you were having light days or some heavy flows or missed period, you have started menopause in terms of the perimenopausal stage, where it's the early stage, right? But you're not considered in menopause as yet. So you're going through these. Just a disruption in the menstrual cycle. Now, as you get closer to actual menopause, you will start to have hot flashes and cold flashes, night sweats, vaginal dryness, mood swings. Some people may even experience depression. Yeah. And when you get even closer to actual menopause, these symptoms may get even more intense, more frequent, and more intense, and sometimes just unbearable to some people. So pay attention, especially if you are around somebody who's going through menopause, or they're menopausal and they're having these mood swings. They might seem really down for long periods of time or frequently. Kind of pay attention, because some women actually experience depression, and this is no joke. Mental health is no joke. Don't take it lightly. Try to encourage them to go see somebody. And if it's you, you're not unique, and this is no fault of yours. So seek help, and help is out there. So go and talk to somebody. As I say, when you get closer to actual menopause, these symptoms are going to be more intense, more frequent, and it can be just downright miserable. Now, menopause is a natural event. It actually happens because estrogen and other reproductive hormones are not being produced by the ovaries. And when the body doesn't have this in the amounts that it needs, the menstrual cycle will get messed up and all of that, and it will just deteriorate until it gets to the end where there's no more period. There's no menstrual cycle. The woman can't get pregnant. And because the hormone is not where it's supposed to be, the woman will experience these symptoms, or at least most of them. Now, for some of the symptoms, they might be localized. Say, for instance, vaginal dryness. If you're a woman going through menopause and you're just experiencing your major concern is, or your major discomfort is vaginal dryness, then you wouldn't need a systemic treatment for that. You could just use something like a topical, and they do have vaginal lubricant or estrogen based vaginal cream that can be used. Other treatments may involve herbal products. Some people swear by black cohosh, flaxseed, and other herbal supplements. Do your research. So, disclaimer here, always check with your healthcare provider before doing anything, making any kind of changes in terms of your health. There are other remedies that have been said to be useful in decreasing the hot severity and frequency of hot flashes and cold sweats, and cold flashes and night sweats and stuff like that, even vaginal dryness. But do research these and discuss it with your healthcare provider. Apart from some of these natural remedies, your symptoms might be that severe that you're considering hormone therapy. Now, hormone replacement therapy is something that you need to consider in depth in terms of having a sit down with your healthcare provider and discuss these types of treatments and your symptoms. Your healthcare provider, along with you yourself, will be able to come up with what's best for you based on what's going on in your body and what else you may have going on. You will learn the side effects of these treatments, and both of you can really get down to the meat of the matter and figure out what's best for you. Now, if you do go the route of hormone replacement, it's usually ordered the lowest dose for the shortest duration of time that's going to be effective for your symptoms. Consideration must be taken based on the risk factor for these types of medication. So it is for some people. Many people have gotten help through hormone therapy, and many people have gone through without hormone therapy. So everything is personalized. You must have a conversation with your healthcare provider, and do not take anything I've said to run and go mess with your health. Sit down with your healthcare provider and consider everything that's going on with you and come up with a plan, you and that healthcare provider. Now, the process of the ovaries stopping the production of these reproductive hormones is a natural process. However, somebody can go into premature menopause due to the ovaries being removed surgically, probably due to disease such as cancer or so. Now, bear in mind also that the menopausal woman does not have estrogen running all over in her body anymore. We must consider our increased risk factors now due to the lack of estrogen in the body, because estrogen supports not only reproductive health, but it also supports cardiovascular health as well as bone health. So we have to be proactive now and start looking at how can I better support my bones in my body. Now I'm at greater risk of osteoporosis, where my bones get thin and are easier to be broken. What can I do? Exercise, aerobic exercise, weightlifting, light weightlifting exercise, making sure you're replacing your calcium. Right? You need calcium for bone health, but you also need vitamin D to make sure that calcium is absorbed, right? So they go hand in hand. So make sure you're getting enough vitamin D, enough calcium in your diet or supplement, and you're doing your exercises. Also, health-wise, please, if you smoke, stop. I know it might be easier said than done. I've never smoked, so I don't know, but I can see, based on seeing others go through it, I know it's not easy. It can't be easy, right? But what I've seen is that it can be done. And I think you can do it. All right? Sometimes you don't even know how strong you are. So, in terms of your cardiovascular health, smoking, no, right? Exercise. Try to consume a diet that's healthy, that's not high in cholesterol and saturated fats, that's not high in starches. Get your vegetable in, get your fruits in, and control your other health issues as much as you can. Stress, that's not an easy one to control, right? But we have to try. We have to pick our battles. We have to know when to say no, when to step away, when to realize that you can't change people. You can't control what other people do, but there's a lot that you can control in terms of what you do, how you act, and what you partake in. So take control of the things that you can control, right? So that you'll be less stressed. Exercise is a good way to relieve stress. Walking, visiting the sick in the hospital. Because then you're going to look and you're going to realize that I've been complaining all this time and look at what other people are going through. Not that you should use other people like that, but sometimes it jerks us into realizing that we're not the worst. Our situation is not the worst. It could be worse. Yeah, it could be worse. Take one day at a time, breathe, laugh, watch an old movie, watch a comedy, watch the same comedy many times, laugh. Laugh at yourself because guess what? You are not the first person who is experiencing whatever you're going through, and you certainly won't be the last. So cheer up. Try to get that stress level down. Stress is a killer. So smoking, stress, eat right, exercise, try your best and eat right. Try to add more and more healthy stuff in your diet daily and do your little exercise. Even 30 minutes a day for, say, 3 to 4 days a week. You can do this. You'll get healthier. And women, I'm telling you, during menopause, you need all the backup that you can get to make the best of this thing because it's a natural process. And I know you can do it because health is wealth. What do you think about the health corner? That was our very first subject, menopause. I know this is affecting a lot of women across the world, and I thought I just share a little bit of information. So I hope you find that helpful. Now remember, disclaimer here: I am not your healthcare provider, so always discuss exercise when you're about to start an exercise routine, when you're about to make any changes in your diet, when you're about to use any herbal supplements, or any changes like that, to treatments, stuff like that. Have a sit down with your healthcare provider and work out what's the best possible treatment for you and only you. Yes. I hope you enjoyed the content of the video today, and if you did, hit that like button. And remember, share. And please subscribe if you haven't. See you next time.